Hey, what's going on, class? So, we're going to go over digital citizenship today, give you a little in-depth on what that is and how you can be a respectable, responsible citizen online and, overall in person as well. So, let's get into it. All right. So, starting off, we have a digital footprint. Do you know what a digital footprint is? Um, Maybe you don't, maybe you do. It can be used in different ways. So, a digital footprint is also known as what you put online. So, what you post or type, maybe post a picture, a video, something of that sort. These actions can affect you in a positive way, maybe, or definitely a negative way. That happens a lot to people. What you post can really affect you in terms of maybe trying to get a job. Say you post something negatively, you're trying to get a job in a few years. Their human resources are people who look through an individual who they want to hire, and they make sure they come back clean and nothing sketchy or bad comes up. Most jobs, before you interview this happens. Sometimes you can have a really good interview, and then HR comes and, well, bam. But that is your own fault sometimes if you're being inappropriate online. So some tips a little bit here: keep your social media private. Don't post a lot of things on social media, especially if it's not suitable, which is work related. So if you wouldn't watch it at work, you wouldn't want your mom or dad to see it. Probably shouldn't post it, or whoever your guardian is. So those are some tips right there. Going next, so let's go over ISTE standards. So this is big in school. Students need to recognize responsibilities and opportunities of living, learning, and working in an interconnected digital world, and they need to act and model in ways that are safe, legal, and ethical. So what is this saying? So not just online, but overall, as a person in school, we need to be safe. We need to be responsible. We need to be respectable. It shouldn't just switch just because we're online and there's quote unquote maybe no barriers. You have to be the same type of person you are in person online. And hopefully that is a good positive, you know. On Also with ISTE standards, we're emphasis on focusing 2B, which is a standard below that. Um, we just want you to be safe, positive, and legal, especially ethical when you're using technology, including social interactions online and while you're using network devices. So, don't do anything stupid. Don't look up anything inappropriate. Do what you gotta do at school. Get done. And maybe you'll be rewarded with some sort of free time at the end of that. So let's moving on. Let's go to cyberbullying. So cyberbullying is another big thing, not just regular bullying, which is huge, but cyberbullying. People are bullying each other at home, online. It's not good. It's very common in school and outside. As we are using computers and tablets, we got to make sure students' behavior is good, positively and respectively. You can get in major trouble if you're doing something inappropriate, such as cyberbullying, and it can come back and haunt you. So please watch how you're doing and be responsible and respectable. Someone is always out there watching, whether you think it or not. There's someone always out there, so be careful and respect your others. If they're not bothering you, don't bother them. So moving on, another thing about being a digital citizen is plagiarism. So if you know anything about plagiarism, does anyone know? Maybe you don't. Well, plagiarism is when you can take a sentence, maybe a paragraph, a video, or a picture from online, and you didn't cite it. Someone's like, hey, that's my work. Comes back, it's theirs. You can get in a lot of trouble from this. You can get kicked out of school for this. You can be graduated from college and lose your degree from it if you get caught. Many things can happen from plagiarism. It's not good. Plagiarism is someone taking someone else's work and saying it's their own. Maybe you didn't mean to do it. Maybe you did, but you have to cite it. So another example would be, say I was writing a paper, and me and the principal were in the same classroom. They did theirs, and I said, "Hey, Mr. Principal, can I have your paper?" Yeah, don't worry about it. Just make sure you cite it. Or maybe not. Well, first off, you shouldn't just take someone's paper. It's not good. Even if you cite it, it's still their paper. Anyways, I take my name off the principal's paper, his name off the principal's, or hers off the paper, write my name in, hand it in. That is plagiarism. And it can also just be something so simple as a sentence. So how do we figure this out? How do we stop plagiarism? Well, you need to cite your sources and give them credit. So say I wrote a paper and you wanted to use a sentence when I said, drinking water is very good when you are hot and sweaty, and it can help you rehydrate. Say you wanted to use that, well, you would do Peter's, say it was on page 2, paragraph 4, you'd have page 2, paragraph 4, and the date you accessed it, which was 2021, comma. Now, if you're directly citing it, you need to put 2 quotation marks around it, and that should do the job. Any other questions on plagiarism, please feel free to reach out. I will definitely help out as much as I can. But moving on from there, some cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is very big now, as we are all using our phones. People pay bills online. People stream and watch movies online. You're updating your social networks as Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. So here's some tips to help you improve your cybersecurity. So let's go with number 1. Never share your password. That's huge. Write it down. Don't store it on your phone because you can get hacked and then you can lose it all. So never share it and write it down somewhere. Keep it in a safe spot. Make your password nice and long. Don't do something like green123 or let's go oranges 4, anything like that. Make it long. Add capital letters, add numbers, and add a symbol or 2 or 3. It's always good to have a nice, long, complicated password so even bots and hackers can't figure it out. Also, when you're on a website, look when you type it in and it loads, look on the top, see if there's like a little lock. You put a key in the lock. If there isn't there, sometimes the site is non-secure, so your data and information could be getting used, so you need to watch out for that. Most sites are locked, has that locked on there so you know it's secure. And lastly, if you have the privilege of having a cell phone, I know some do, some don't, just saying that you need to really utilize this feature. If you are privileged enough to have a cell phone, it's called a VPN. It's a private service. It's a private network. Some phone carriers give them out. I know Verizon has one. It covers your Wi-Fi, so nothing can steal any information. It's pretty much like not somebody, but it scans for threats and possible threats and keeps all the badness out. So very good to have. Your information is safe. So maybe you want to look into something like that. There's also very cheap ones out there if you really are scared about your information. I'll happily give you any more information you need on that. So please reach out. If you have any cybersecurity, if you want some information on that, plagiarism, cyberbullying, ISTE standards of being a good digital citizen, we gotta just make sure you're not sending anything inappropriate, something around. So remember, if someone sends something to you, don't share it out. That could be a form of cyberbullying. If someone sent you a message or something. So please be respectful, responsible, good students. Any other questions, please feel free to reach out. Have a good rest of your day. Coach P, signing out.